I love EA. It's in the game. Alright folks, let's talk about this. Man, as you know, I'm not a fan of microtransactions. And I don't think anybody is, but you know what? There's a lot of people on YouTube lying. EA did 1.68 billion with a B. Let's talk about it over Titanfall 2. A very underrated but very, very good game from EA that not a lot of people bought. So let's talk. Alright guys, so when it comes to microtransactions, there's a lot of people that are lying. I mean, companies are making money and they are in the business of making money. That's why they keep on making games with microtransactions. If nobody was buying them, they would make them. But it's profitable, right? So there's a lot of people that complain about microtransactions, but yet they still buy them, right? Whether it's from EA or any other company. Now, I love EA throughout the years because they've put out a lot of great video games. But like any other company, they are in the business of making money, right? So let's take a look at this game, Titanfall 2. It is a beautiful game, man. This game rocks. I love this game. And as you can tell by this play, I suck at it. I suck at shooters. I love playing them, but I turn into Rambo whenever I'm in a shooter, and I just want to shoot everybody, and I don't care about stealth. I don't care about hiding. I just want to blow everything up. However, this game has puzzle elements to it. I mean, it's a great shooter. I just started playing it. As you can tell, I die rather easily. You can see me in the background there. But I love it, man. This game is a gem. But it didn't do the numbers it was supposed to do. And these companies invest hundreds of millions of dollars into developing these things. And they need to recoup their investment. They need to make money somehow. And when it comes to great games, some people just don't buy them for whatever reason. So they have to find a way to make money even if the game doesn't sell that well, or try to maximize the amount of money they can get out of a game. Now, whether you like their tactics or not, the only way you can vote is with your wallet. When you don't like something they do, you don't buy it. When you do, then you buy it, right? And that's just the way it goes. But a lot of these people arguing, they're sort of like the same people that argue that they don't do something when we all know they do. And a perfect example is porn, right? Porn is the biggest industry on the internet by far. But how could that be if nobody watches porn? If everybody's so religious and nobody watches it, how is it blowing up? Who are these 10 people that are the ones watching all the porn? And it's the same thing with microtransactions, right? A lot of people complain, a lot of people say they don't do it, but they do, because the numbers are there, right? And as long as it's profitable for companies to do it, they'll continue doing it. Now, why do I say I love EA? Well, guys, throughout the years, they have put out great content. I mean, they've not only made some good sports games, but they've also made other games that I plan to highlight, by the way. And all you hear about is hate. Everything's so reactionary on the internet. I mean, I just watched the Nintendo Direct today. It took like 5 seconds to people start complaining about that. Were they supposed to fill your every need, your every desire was supposed to be on a Direct? No. And EA's job's not to fulfill your every desire in every game, and every game is perfect.
But you do want a company to be profitable, especially a big company, so they can explore new areas, develop new games. And yeah, they might fall down with microtransactions, for example. But just like anything else, it evolves. When they see that something doesn't work, they're going to try something else to make it better. And hopefully this will happen to a lot of these companies, because as you can see with Fortnite, people are willing to spend the money, specifically even on a free game, right? In order to get things that they want or they enjoy. And when they have a choice, when it doesn't affect gameplay. And I'm sure EA will learn from this and develop new games. Now you have the new Battlefield coming out, Battlefield 5, right? And when it first started being promoted, they got the smackdown from everybody, right? Because of the way they're promoting it. Now, this is not a channel about politics or anything like that, so I'm not going to get into that. But what I am saying is that they did listen to the consumers, right? And they listened to them based on the pre-orders. It was all about money. People voted with their wallet, and they saw, hey, you know what? This is not working. We're going to take a nosedive here if we don't change things up. And they've started to listen, right, and change things up. And hopefully they'll have a good game. I mean, the game looks beautiful, by the way. I mean, graphically it looks beautiful. There's some gameplay things that you know, they should correct. But I like this, that it's taken a while, right? Even though this other guy had to get out, but they're starting to listen to the consumer, and that's always a good sign, guys. Because if they're listening to the consumer, the games that we'll make are better. Now, the consumer's not always right? I mean, Nintendo doesn't, you know, research the consumer to come up with their games. They make great games, and we go play them, right? So there's a little bit of that too. But when there's things specifically that are not liked by the consumer you're targeting, then you have to make adjustments or you're going to lose money, right? When it comes to this type of game, man, I don't know about you guys, and you guys can tell me what you think, but when I play shooters, dudes, I want to distress, man. I just want to get my anger out. And yeah, there's a lot of things that are said, man. I mean, when I'm playing my shooters, I go nuts. I mean, I say things that I normally wouldn't say. You know, I'm a genuinely nice guy 90% of the time. But it's like when I'm driving, when people are driving, right? You do a certain kind of thing, and that demon in you comes out where you're just distressing and saying stuff. And yeah, man, I mean, I talk a lot of smack when I'm playing video games. I'll say some of the worst, most horrible things to my friends online or when they're here, all kinds of smack talking, but it's all in good fun. I mean, we don't mean it. And I think censorship in many ways is taking the fun out of these video games when it's unnecessary. Now, I'm not saying that you should be able to say anything, right? But to basically censor the consumer to what they can and cannot say, not only in outbursts against each other, but you know, in political themes and in social themes, I think is a little much, right? Because you want to have some sort of privacy. If I'm connecting with somebody else on the internet, right, and it's my friend, and we say things to each other that we wouldn't say in public or inside jokes, I don't want any company regulating my speech with my friend in a private conversation, right? And that's the line that needs to be drawn. And I think that's where a lot of us players feel like, you know, a lot of these companies are overreaching their power, right? They have this power over us where, you know, we have to go on their networks and we have to go do things on their platforms, and they want to silence what we say. And I don't think that's cool, man. I mean, everybody should have their own point of view, believe whatever you want, you know, as long as you're not hurting any other person. You know, you should be respectful of others' opinions and thoughts and whatever. But we should have a private space as consumers where we can communicate without the fear of being, you know, censored by a corporation. I think that's dangerous territory, right? So, but as you can see, things are changing. The public are changing things. Companies are listening. You know, companies lose money, they're going to listen. And you know, these last few months, I've been noticing that, you know, a lot of ears have been to the ground, and based on their past, you know, I have hopes that EA will evolve, but that takes nothing from all the great games they have made over the years, and that I have enjoyed, by myself or with my family. And I can just remember the first time I played a soccer game and I heard it's in the game, right? That was awesome, man. I mean, back in the Super Nintendo days, man, I mean, those early soccer games to me were the best. Nothing what it's become, right? I mean, now it's a completely different monster, but I really enjoyed those early soccer games, and I have high hopes for the industry and Electronic Arts in particular. They have a great back catalog that they should be able to do tons with and get back in the good graces of consumers, and there's a lot of things that they can do to make things better for us, and we can have a better relationship. So that's my rant, guys.
All right, friends, that's how I see it. Remember what I tell you. Don't be afraid to be happy. I'll see you next time. Take care.
Let's game rage. Mother flowers, let me catch you, you cork suckers. Come on.